My friends, I got a question. And it's a hell of a question. And I'm looking for an answer. All right, here's the question. Is it possible to be a first lady, a U.S. senator, secretary of state, and a presidential candidate and still be stupid? You bet your ass it is. Item from InfoWars. Hillary Clinton's new book, What Happened, contains a section where the failed presidential candidate literally tries to assert that George Orwell's 1984, a book about the tyranny and abuse of an all-powerful authoritarian state, is all about the need to trust authority. Yes, she really is that delusional. Here's the passage from Hillary, quote, attempting to define reality is a core feature of authoritarianism. This is what the Soviets did when they erased political dissidents from historical photos. This is what happens in George Orwell's classic novel 1984, when a torturer holds up 4 fingers and delivers electric shocks until his prisoner sees 5 fingers as ordered. The goal is to make you question logic and reason and to sow mistrust toward exactly the people we need to rely on. Our leaders, the press, experts who seek to guide public policy based on evidence, ourselves. Stop. How this got through the editing process at the publishing house, how it got through proofreaders, is completely beyond me, because this is one of the truly profoundly ignorant things I've heard in 59 years crawling along the surface of this planet. 1984 is all about overreach by government, big government, controlling government, the nanny state, Big Brother being absolute poison for the individual, and Hillary Clinton thinks it's about how good government is, and how the individual should reach out to government for guidance, for help, for basically everything. In other words, she's got the book completely bass-ackwards. Did she ever read this book? Did she get this from a high school student? I have no idea. But this is so stupid, so completely wrong, and this woman wanted to have her finger on the nuclear button. And so back to our original question. Is Hillary Clinton stupid? Is it possible to have held all those exalted posts and still be dumb as a board? Well, the question is yes. The answer is yes, because Hillary never earned any of those positions. She was given them. Because she was married to Bill Clinton, because she is corrupt, because she's a woman. And so no, Hillary Clinton is a complete idiot and is not worthy of public office. It's Wednesday. Stick around for real truth. I know a lot of you will criticize me for going easy on Hillary. What can I tell you? In my old age, I'm mellowing a little bit. Back to the radio.
In order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, to ordain and establish this Constitution. American Window Tinting Incorporated in Frighttown reminds parents, keep an eye on your child while shopping. Children tend to stray or become lost. This poses an opportunity for a would-be abductor. Please make every effort to keep track of your little ones at all times. If you have information regarding a lost child, call local authorities at once. This message is from American Window Tinting Incorporated in Franktown. For residential or commercial window tinting, call 303-263-4228. Piccolo's Restaurant in Denver reminds us that over 750,000 children were reported missing last year. Over 58,000 of these were abducted by non-family members. Keep an eye out for youngsters at play, and if you see anything suspicious, contact the authorities immediately. This message from Piccolo's Restaurant in Denver. It's not only the best Italian in Mexico, it's the best fair. Give them a call at 303-757-5166. 303-757-5166. Piccolo.
My friends, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Riell, in your old age, you're getting soft. You're going easy on Hillary. And what can I tell you? You're right. I am Howard Riell. This is Real Truth. And yeah, I'm kind of easing up on Hillary. She's a complete moron, but that's all I'll say because I'm trying to nuance my message a little bit. Here's someone who's even better at nuancing a message than I am. Rush Limbaugh, who says that Hillary blames everyone but herself for her 2016 defeat, and worse than that, she's boring.
And welcome back. Half my brain time behind my back just to make it fair. Rush Limbaugh, the EIB network. I got some emails. Why didn't you kept teasing you were talking about Hillary yesterday? You never got to it. I admit that was not good. Because I don't tease. I don't tell you something's coming up with no intention of coming up just to hook you. I don't have to hook anybody. This program is coming enough without me employing usual, typical broadcast cheap tricks. Yes, Hillary bored me. She has bored me for the longest time. If you write the definition of has-been, she's it. If you write the definition of overblown, was going to be anything, she's it. It is. Now her book is coming out today, and they've already marked it down. Did you know this 40%? It's standard for books that are thought to be bestsellers to have 25% off. It's not unusual. 40% is unusual. I mean, that's because her first book, they gave her, well, her most recent book, they gave her a $14 million advance, and it sold 275,000 copies. So that means it sold about 70,000 because Hillary and her buds bought 200,000.
Which means there are at least 70,000 Americans out there walking around free, enjoying all the fruits of our freedom and our society. 70,000 Americans who are as dumb as rocks.
It was a bomb. And then when she did her book signing, nobody showed up. Because Hillary, unlike Trump and many other public figures, has no personal connection. Even with the people that voted for her, there is no personal investment in her. She, at best, represented the symbolism of the first female president, but she's not likable. She's not charismatic. She's Nurse Ratched and such. So she doesn't have, she couldn't draw 20,000 people.
And by the way, my friends, here's a teachable moment. I'd be remiss if I let it pass. We wanted the first black president. We got Barack Obama, who was a complete disaster. We wanted the first woman president. And so the Democrats put up Hillary Clinton, who has always been a complete disaster. So what's the lesson? The lesson is this. When you have a job to fill, you pick the best person for the job regardless of race or gender. A candidate for a job is no better or worse, depending on skin color or genitalia. It should be a meritocracy. It's what America used to be. And it's the only way America will function well, is if it is a meritocracy. Those who succeed are those who are best able to succeed. And we don't start giving people jobs because of their race or gender. I can tell you why, Rush. I'll answer that question. Because Nate Silver is a whore. Nate Silver puts out results that have nothing to do with reality, but everything to do with kissing the backside of the Democratic Party and its donors. Question asked and answered. My friends, can you imagine what a dummy Alan Holland must be? To go to those kind of lengths, to get up so early and schlep his ass into Manhattan to stand online for 5 seconds in front of Hillary Clinton. Can you imagine what Alan Holland must be like in real life? Hey, Mr. Holland, how are you? How do you feel? Huh? Huh? Trump is a racist. That's probably what the guy is like. If Democrats in September 2017 believed that Hillary should pack it in, how much smarter are you and I who knew years ago, literally years ago, that Hillary should pack it in? So if you want evidence that Democrats in general are brainless, here you go. It's taken them years to discover something that we knew a very long time ago. That's how far behind the curve liberals and Democrats are. So tell me, why would you vote for them? I have no idea. We'll take a break and we'll come back. Real truth, my friends. That's what you get here. Go nowhere.
Riell Power has been providing reliable electrical power systems in the Rocky Mountain area since 1992. Our systems rely on the sun to help make you self-reliant for your power needs. Solar energy can be scaled to fit any situation, from complete power independence to backup power for the short term. Our expertise focuses on standalone power, but we have extensive experience with utility interacting systems and custom tailored capabilities as modest emergency lighting all the way to commercial scale power. Great Plains Power is a full-service company. We service everything we sell. We provide and design turnkey packages, custom design system, and parts for do-it-yourself. With more than 20 years of specialized experience at your disposal, let us know what your power concerns or goals are. Reach us by phone or the internet. Call 303-239-9963. That's 303-239-9963. Or go to GreatPlainsSolar.com.
The Lord makes the counsel of the nations to nothing. He makes the plans of the people of no sense. The counsel of the Lord stands forever. The plans of his heart to all generations. Blessed is the nation. God is the Lord. The people he has chosen as his own inheritance. Psalm 33, verses 10 through 12.
We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just power from the consent of the governed. This is the America's News Network.
My friends, every chance I get, I listen to Ann Coulter. And so should you. Here she is on the Mark Simone Show earlier today, talking about Hillary, talking about ESPN, talking about Berkeley's Free Speech Week. This is all great stuff. Give a listen.
AnnCoulter.com.
My friends, you actually should go to AnnCoulter.com because she is just that smart, and she does have that good a beat on reality and what's happening in America, and she's right. A little amnesty will become a big amnesty, will become a full amnesty, and as she says, that's the end of America. I thought Donald Trump was going to prevent that. Item from the Associated Press, Dateline, Rockford, Washington. A shooter opened fire at a high school in Washington State on Wednesday, that's today, killing one person and injuring at least 3 others, authorities said. Brian Schaefer of the Spokane Fire Department excuse me, told reporters one person died at Freeman High School in the tiny town of Rockford, south of Spokane. 3 injured victims taken to a hospital. Providence Sacred Heart Medical Center and Children's Hospital received 3 pediatric patients. Blah, 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 blah. Nothing about the shooter, which tells me one of 2 things. If the shooter was a minor, they wouldn't tell you his name. If the shooter was a Muslim, they wouldn't tell you his name. Well, not until they have to. Not until it gets out. But even if it's a minor, even if it's a student at the school, they would at least tell you that a student opened fire. But they won't tell you when a Muslim opens fire. Why? Left-leaning news. They want to be PC. They don't want to let people know who the real enemies are. What more liberal organization has there ever been than the ACLU, the American Criminals Liberty Union, where the victims are the criminals and the criminals the victims? So watch for this news item. You wait and see. I'd say there's 70% chance the shooter ends up being Muslim. Item from Fox5DC.com, Dateline, College Park, Maryland. The College Park City Council has voted in favor of a measure that would allow city residents who are not U.S. citizens to vote in local elections. College Park joined 6 other towns in allowing legal permanent residents and undocumented immigrants to vote in municipal elections, unquote. This is discrimination. And I've talked about this before. If you're going to allow non-citizens in College Park, Maryland to vote, why are you discriminating against non-citizens in Miami, Florida? Why can't they vote in the College Park election? What about non-citizens in Mongolia or North Korea or Iran? Most of the world is not a citizen anywhere in the United States. Why are we discriminating against them? Why don't we have all the world's people, all 7 billion people, voting in our elections, and that would be fair, right? Yeah, it would also be utter insanity, which we're verging on. Item. From the Washington Examiner, the upcoming 2020 Democratic presidential nomination, typo, is Senator Bernie Sanders to lose, according to a new election poll. Sanders has a huge lead over rivals Senator Elizabeth Warren and former Vice President Joe Biden, both of whom are eyeing a bid. The dark horse appears to be Facebook's Mark Zuckerberg. Virginia governor, my friends, here's the good news. Here comes the good news. You ready? Virginia Governor Terry McAuliffe, a media and Clinton favorite, is dead last with just 1% supporting his candidacy in the Zogby Analytics survey of likely Democrat primary voters provided exclusively to Secrets, unquote. My friends, I've talked about Terry McAuliffe before. He is a liberal Democrat whore, political hack. He's had his lips attached to the Clintons' backsides for something like 20-plus years. He is a lackey for the Clintons and the Clinton Foundation. Terry McAuliffe should never get within 1,000 light years of running for an important office. Why he got elected governor in Virginia? Well, you got to talk to the people who test intelligence in the state of Virginia. I don't know why. But there's more good news. I skipped right over it. Bernie Sanders is the leading candidate. In 2020, Bernie Sanders will be about, 83 years old? Am I off by a couple of years? He'll be ancient. And he also has zero chance of winning. And so this is a good thing. The absolute worse a candidate is, the easier it'll be for Trump to get reelected. Elizabeth Warren and Joe Biden are both Democrat rectums. No one with half a brain would vote for any of these people. Then again, no one with half a brain ever has. We'll be back.
Or more nutritional supplements. Please stop. Simplify your supplementation with Bio Superfood, the most advanced nutritional whole food supplement you can buy. Children, even Olympic athletes the world over have discovered Bio Superfood from BioAge.com. And now take just one nutritional supplement instead of many. The Bio Superfood formulas are whole food products composed with 4 of the most nutrient-dense algae found on Earth. Bio Superfood for the brain with focus. Clarity and food. If you can brain health, the rest of the body, it's a no-brainer. Bio Superfood and zero toxicity and is safe for human impact. Learn more and order your Bio Superfood formulas at BioAge.com. Spelled BIOAGE.com. BioAge.com. Or call 877-288-9116. That's 877-288-9116. BioAge. The active advanced organic.
Great Plains Power has been providing reliable electrical power systems in the Rocky Mountain area since 1992. Our systems rely on the sun to help make you self-reliant for your power needs. Solar energy can be scaled to fit any situation, from complete power independence to backup power for the short term. Our expertise focuses on standalone power, but we have extensive experience with utility interactive systems as well. Tailored capabilities is modified emergency lighting all the way to commercial scale power. Great Plains Power is a full service company. We service everything we sell. We provide and design turnkey packages, custom design system, and parts for do-it-yourself. With more than 20 years of specialized experience at your disposal, let us know what your power concerns or goals are. Reach us by phone or the internet. Call 303-239-9963. That's 303-239-9963. Or go to GreatPlainsSolar.com. And the Word became flesh and dwelt among us, and we beheld his glory, the glory as of the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth. John bore witness of him and cried out, saying, This was he of whom I said, He who comes after me is preferred before me, for he was before me. The Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 14 and 15. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, to ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America.
All right, guys, welcome back. Tucker Carlson is another shining intellect that I love to listen to. He was on Fox News, as he always is, just last night, talking about, well, I'll let Tucker himself tell you. My friends, just because the actions were inappropriate, in other words, putting this out there was inappropriate, what about the idea? This Jamel chick doesn't say anywhere that what she says was wrong and stupid and brainless, although it was. So she's still on the air, still brainless, still stupid. Why are ESPN viewers still listening to her, watching her show? I don't understand it. Let's go to this. Let's go back to Tucker with this guy from ESPN.
He joins us tonight.
My friends, the irony could not be more piquant. She's saying the only reason Donald Trump got to be president is because he's a white male. But the only reason this Twinkie got to be on TV is because she's a black female. It's kind of the pot calling the kettle. Well, we won't go there.
Because Bob Iger and John Skipper. Another idea would be look at their business model. They've lost 13 million subscribers in the past few years, and they're alienating their core audience, which is guys and girls who just want to pop a beer and watch a football game. They don't.
So, my friends, let me teach you a little bit from the Talmud. Can I teach you some Gemara? Okay, listen up. The Talmud teaches us that hatred blinds a man. What could be a clearer illustration of that than liberal politics? Liberals, especially those who head corporations, those who are in public life and politics, say the stupidest, most ridiculous things imaginable. Not because a lot of them don't have IQ points, they do. But when you're so filled with hate, when you're so driven by bile, you don't see things. You're blinded. ESPN is leaning hard left. And so they're dying because they're leaning hard left. People who tune into ESPN, first of all, are mostly on the right. Second of all, they don't go to ESPN because they want politics. Talk to me sports. But the people who head up ESPN and Disney and a host of other corporations, they're liberal people, and so they're blinded. They are de facto stupid. If not actually stupid, they are de facto stupid. And this is a classic illustration. Let's go back to Tucker.
What a year.
If ESPN was smart, well, ESPN is liberal, so we can transport that and say if liberals were smart, my friends, if liberals were smart, well, there wouldn't be any more smart liberals because they wouldn't be liberal anymore.
They would be acknowledging that that's true.
They are out of touch. Liberals in general are out of touch. Remember a chick named Hillary Clinton? Remember how completely and totally out of touch she was and is with America? We see it again and again. Liberals are out of touch because they don't live here on Earth. They live in some hazy utopia where whatever they want to believe is true is true. That's why they're out of touch, because they don't live here.
There? Do they speak up?
All right, a shout out to all my left-leaning liberal listeners and to all the liberal politicians. You want to save your careers? Good. Go hard left. Go all the way to the left. When you turn around, you'll see that you're standing there all by yourself. And then maybe, we actually can make America great again. Stick around. We got another segment coming up here on Real Truth.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Tom Phillips, founder of the Green Earth.
Well, it had to happen. Colorado legalized marijuana. People thought the Green Herb was a marijuana dispensary. Also, it was legalized on January the 1st, 2014. The same day we opened our new location at 4565 Kiffin Street, 1.5 blocks south of I-70. There are 83,000 cars a day passing in front of our new location on Kiffin Street, and most of them thought we were a marijuana dispensary. So we changed the name of our retail store to New Genesis Health, but we kept the name of our Green Herb Supplements.
So when you come to our new location, look for our new name, New Genesis Health, or call us at 888-765-HERB. That's 888-765-4372. And be sure to listen to the Healthy Nature Show with Linda Phillips every Tuesday at 1 p.m.
Now this is the testimony of John of the Jews sent frequent Levites from Jerusalem to ask him, "Who are you?" He confessed and did not deny, but confessed, "I am not the Messiah." And they asked him, "What then? Are you Elijah?" He said, "I am not." "Are you the prophet?" And he answered, "No." The Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 19 through 21.
The associates at the 24-hour Walmart supercenter copy of the month. No one anywhere is more noble, righteous, selfless, or courageous than our United States Armed Forces. These brave men and women and their families foot the bill for our freedom every day. Send a military care package today to let them know that they are in our hearts and our prayers and our thoughts. This message is from the associate at your 24-hour Walmart Supercenter on Highway 287 in Lafayette. They're on the air because they care.
My friends, here's one of the scariest things I've thought in a long time. If you look around, you'll see that there is no longer anywhere to be found, except maybe this show and a couple of other places, a full endorsement of constitutional conservatism. And that's a very, very, very bad sign. Here's Mark Levin from yesterday.
I thought we'd do something a little different. I think very interesting today. There is a PR machine going on, pushing various agendas and various ideologies. The progressive ideology backed by billionaires is being pushed very, very hard out there. Various nonprofit groups, various media platforms and outlets. Of course, they're politicians. There's a full-bore push out there also for the progressive Republicans who have access to these liberal outlets, like the New York Times, Washington Post, Politico, not to really explain who they are, in fact, to conceal who they are, but mostly to trash conservatives. There's another push going on in this country, the nationalist populist push, an ideology that is very unclear in many respects because it often refers to itself as conservative. But if it's a true nationalist populist movement, much like the progressives of the late 1800s and early 1900s, it's less conservative and more progressive in the end. At least that's my take. But what isn't happening? What isn't happening is a full-throated explanation and endorsement of constitutional conservatism. You're not going to hear it from the vast majority of politicians. You're not going to hear it from the vast majority of hosts on any cable.
You hear it from me, friends.
You're not going to hear it from most radio talk show hosts. Many of them have already surrendered.
You hear it from me.
You're not going to hear it from the President of the United States because his defenders will tell you he never said he's a conservative. And they're right. He does some good conservative things. You're certainly not going to hear it from McConnell, or Ryan, or the rest of them. And much of Washington conservatism has fallen behind Trump because they want him to succeed, as do I. And they reject the attacks on him by the Democrats to try and destroy his presidency, as do I. However, accepting the fact that he's not a conservative, although he does some conservative things, accepting the fact that the Republican Party is no longer a conservative party, as Reagan left it, and accepting the fact that the progressive movement is riding high in all aspects of our society, well, I'm going to continue to push and even more focused, and a more focused conservatism, because to me, conservatism is nothing more than a representation of Americanism. And if we do not defend our founding principles, there is no other political element that will. There simply is no other political element that will. And what's interesting now is I'm finding some of the columnists, some of the hosts on TV and radio who back President Trump no matter what are now trashing conservatives. And so this effort, this ideology, or this cult of personality type activity that's taking place, sees conservatism as an obstacle or as an idea that needs to be pushed aside. And we're going to need to fight over this. And that's a healthy thing. Donald Trump will not be reelected president of the United States if he loses the conservative base. I don't care how many so-called nationalist populists are out there, because most people don't identify with that nomenclature. But he cannot win without the conservative base. I'm not talking about the never-Trumpers and all the rest. I'm talking about the conservative base, the Tea Party grassroots base. It's not possible. And you need not attack the conservative base in order to win blue-collar Democrats. Our 40th president of the United States, Reagan, demonstrated that with 2 massive landslides, both in the popular vote and the electoral college vote. I see these things. What has conservatism ever done? I don't know, but a hell of a lot more than nationalism, populism, I can tell you that. But conservatism has done a lot, actually, over the decades. There was a piece some time ago by Charles C.W. Cook at National Review, and he just hit some of it. You can think of some of it yourself. Since Reagan made his first serious presidential run in 1976, conservatism has produced a cornucopia of significant changes, not only to government policy, but to the baseline presumptions of American life. Among these alterations are the tarring and feathering of the reflexively technocratic mindset it obtained from the outset of the New Deal to the end of the 1970s, the marginalization of wage and price controls and of other centralizing tools, the lowering of destructive tax rates on income and other forms of wealth, the deregulation of a significant number of major industries, like ours, and talk radio, a renewed focus on national sovereignty, the successful reform of the welfare system, a consensus around free trade, a much lower minimum wage, a focus on both the text and original meaning of the Constitution when discussing limits on governmental power, the restoration of the right to keep and bear arms, the stronger protection of freedom of expression, a national partial birth abortion ban, the death of speech-killing campaign finance reform, so-called, unless we forget the peaceful dismantling of the Soviet Union. And he goes on and on and on. Conservatism has actually accomplished a lot when we elect a conservative president, which we've done twice in 100 years. Calvin Coolidge and Ronald Reagan. That's it. That's it. The current president doesn't claim to be a conservative. He said so, and his supporters say he's not. He's a different type of candidate, don't you know? So what is this conservatism? Is it a purity test? Is it, unrelated to the real lives of people? These attacks are coming from the populist nationalists. No, it's not of any kind. I would refer you, and you can go Google it, to Ronald Reagan's 1977 CPAC speech on February 6, 1977, on his birthday. And I'll just cite some aspects of it. He said, 3 weeks ago here in our nation's capital, I told a group of conservative scholars that we are currently reordering of the political realities that have shaped our time.
All right, my friends, unfortunately, we're about to hit a break, and we don't have the time to listen to everything Ronald Reagan said, although I would Google it if I were you. And, of course, I will post this video on my Facebook page, Real Truth Radio, which more of you need to be visiting. By the way, if you bought my book, Real Truth, Stay Angry, that would also not be a terrible thing. Item from Breitbart. Americans' median pay packets have been flat since 1973. Even though the vastly expanded federal government has justified its own salaries and its many massive spending and policy programs as a surefire way to boost education, productivity, and wages. Unquote.
If you're taking 1, 2, 5, or more nutritional supplements, please stop. Simplify your supplement ticket with Bio Superfood, the most advanced nutritional whole food supplement you can buy. Women, children, even Olympic athletes the world over have discovered Bio Superfood from BioAge.com. And now take just one nutritional supplement instead of many. The Bio Superfood formulas are whole food products composed with 4 of the most nutrient-dense algae found on Earth. Bio Superfood for brain helps with focus, memory, clarity, and mood. If you can increase brain health, the rest of the body is a no-brainer. Bio Superfood has zero toxicity and is safe for people bioage.com, bioage.com, or call 877-288-9116. That's 877-288-9116. BioAge.
And of his fullness we have all received, and grace for grace. For the law was given through Moses, but grace and truth came through Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus the Christ. No one has seen God at any time. The only begotten Son, who is in the bosom of the Father, he has declared him. Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 16.
He leaves the blocker sign that reminds our listeners that the drug problem is well documented. We know our kids will be approached at early age. We want to applaud the youngsters in our community who have had the strength to say no to drugs. They provide examples to their peers and families to be the best they can be. As for Moment to the Blocker plant, located at 366 Grand Street in Wilmington, serving our area since 1943 and specializing in naturalized HB and pork and complete custom process. Call 303-688-2240. That's 303-688-2240.
All right, guys, let me restart this last piece that we ran into trouble with when we hit the commercial from Breitbart. Americans' median pay packets have been flat since 1973. Good Lord. Even though the vastly expanded federal government has justified its own salaries and its many massive spending and policy programs as a surefire way to boost education, productivity, and wages. The colossal 44-year failure of the federal government to help grow American men's wages or even reduce poverty rates is laid bare in the latest report from the Census Bureau titled Income and Poverty in the United States 2016. The dense report includes myriad detailed tables of data around one shocking chart, which reveals no growth in men's wages for the past 44 years, or since President Richard Nixon was beginning his second term in office. Unquote. So, my friends, you want bigger government? You must be especially stupider. Government doesn't do anything to enhance the lives of Americans. Government weighs us down. Government is bureaucratic, it's cumbersome, it's lumbering, it's stupid, it's wasteful. Democrats want bigger government. Draw your conclusions. Item from Breitbart. House Speaker Paul Ryan, at a private dinner earlier this year, said he thought that only one member wanted to build a wall across the entire U.S.-Mexico border. Breitbart News has learned from multiple sources with direct knowledge of the comments, including former Representative Tom Tancredo. The dinner, sources said, took place on the eve of the House's passage of two relatively minor immigration bills at the end of June, Kate's Law and Sanctuary City reforms. The far wider-reaching Davis-Oliver Act was tabled at the same time. Quote, Ryan told a group of Republicans he met with that only one person wants a wall. Tancredo told Breitbart News shortly after the dinner. Unquote. My friends, if Republicans don't want a wall, they're not Republicans in any sense of the word that I understand. If they are rhinos, you need to vote them the hell out. Item, a Yale University study on the effectiveness of combating fake news underlines what the rest of the country already knew. Americans no longer trust the media to tell the truth. My friends, nothing could be more obvious. The only media you're going to get that's going to tell you the truth, well, you're listening to it. Item from Reuters, Dateline, Cologne, Germany. Facebook has tightened its rules on who can make money from advertising on its network, responding to criticism that it's too simple for providers of fake news and sensational headlines to cash in. Unquote. My friends, no one likes, well, I shouldn't say no one. No intelligent people like fake news. That said, who the hell is Facebook to decide what is and isn't fake, what is and isn't true, what is and isn't hate speech? Facebook is a for-profit entity, which means it will always make decisions that favor its bottom line. So if the measure of free speech now is going to be what's profitable, then you can wave goodbye to anything that even resembles the United States of America, anything that even looks like constitutionally protected free speech, because that will be long gone. Facebook should be like a referee. The best referees are the ones you hardly even notice. Facebook wants to do what it does, great, do it. And shut up. The Supreme Court said about pornography a long time ago, I can't define it, but I know what it is when I see it. Common sense prevails. I'll be back tomorrow and we'll wrap up the week here on Real Truth, my friends. Thanks for listening. Hasta luego.